Hi, my name is Alex Linde, and I'm a solutions engineer at CyberArk, specializing in our identity solutions. Today I'll be taking you through a quick demo of workforce password management. What you see here is an example of a user portal for extra busy company. As you can see, we can brand the background, the logo, even the domain for logging in, and your users can log in either through a federated connection to your existing identity provider, so they can use the same method they're already used to, or through CyberArk Identity's built-in multi-factor authentication, which we'll see here in a second. CyberArk Identity has many multi-factor authentication options. The one that we're going to look at here is opening up the CyberArk Identity mobile app, where we're already logged in. And when we open the app, it'll do a Face ID scan to make sure we are who we say. And now all we need to do is open up our QR code authenticator, which will allow us to scan the QR code on the screen and log us in a keywordless and passwordless manner into our user portal. Now that we're logged in, we have access to all of our applications in one place. For example, Mike Busy, he's too busy to hunt down for all the passwords that he has, so he's organized them into various folders or tabs. He has a personal folder where he has apps like Yelp and Morningstar, things that he uses for himself. And he has a purchasing folder where maybe he'll buy some things for the organization. Maybe he's going to buy some laptops, and we'll add some apps here later. He's got some shipping applications like FedEx and UPS. Maybe he needs to check some tracking numbers or send out some packages. And the same for travel, social. And then he's got an all apps button that covers all the different applications that he has. If you later decide to use CyberArk Identity as your identity provider, you can also put your SAML, WSFed, and OIDC applications here as well. And if you forgot where some application is, you can also search for it by name and it'll just pop up. Now, what happens if Mike doesn't have an application that he needs? Well, he can just simply add the application from a large catalog of pre-existing applications. And then all that he'll need to do is just populate the username and password for that application, and then he'll be able to use it. Now, additionally, he can save that application, and then he can drag and drop it into whatever folder that he wants to for easy organization. In this case, we'll put it into purchasing. Another very nice and helpful way to add applications is just to connect to them through the web browser. So in this case, we're going to go to cdw.com and we're going to sign in as usual. We'll put in our username and our password, and the browser extension is always listening for new logins. It suggests saving it. We do. And now when we close out of here, we'll see that this application has been added to the user portal. Now we can drag it into the purchasing folder again. We can click on it to connect to that application, or we can navigate to the browser extension and we can also find it in here, click on it, and that'll connect us as well. It'll autofill the credentials and log us in, and now we're ready to buy some laptops. Another very handy feature is right from the browser extension, your users can generate strong passwords. In this case, we're requiring 16 characters and a mix of numbers and symbols to make a stronger password. Now, many organizations that we work with would like to put restrictions on which applications users can save in their workforce password manager. So, for example, in this case, we're going to try to add our personal Gmail account. And what we'll see is that the administrator has created a block on Gmail, and the user will not be able to save their credentials for this username. Another example of that would be if we go to an existing application and we try to put in a username that contains a string that is not allowed, in this case yahoo.com, we can actually set rules to block that from being saved into the portal. However, if the user cancels out of this and puts in their corporate domain in here instead, then we will be able to save those credentials. Now, many of you users already have certain password management tools. For example, KeePass, LastPass. We have a very easy to use migration method for them to import their existing credentials into CyberArk. And we have an other mechanism in case it's one of the password managers not on this list. And another very helpful tool is many customers want their users to be able to share credentials with each other. Credential rights can be granularly given by user or user group. And if a user has the rights to share credentials, then they would just simply find an application that they want to share. In this case, we'll go back to our good old CDW. And there's a sharing tab. Now we can search for a user in our organization. Select that user or user group. And by default, we don't expose the passwords for security reasons. But in this case, we'll choose to let the user view the password. And we can also give standing access or give them a time window. In this case, it's going to be a couple of days. While Mike is away, he's going to let Alex use his CDW account. Switching over now to Alex's portal, we see that a shared apps tab has appeared, and in it, the CDW application is now available. If we look into that application to see the details, we'll see that it was shared with us by Mike. And let's see what happens when we try to see the password. Oh, looks like we're going to have to do multi-factor authentication. And it's going to be a push to our mobile phone, but not just any push. It's going to require number matching. In this case, the person approving the notification is going to have to match the number in the mobile phone with the number on the computer. And this really helps to prevent hacker attacks based on MFA fatigue, where a hacker will send repeated MFA prompts in the hope that a user will just get tired and approve. And the final section that we'd like to cover today is secured items. Secured items is a wonderful way to save passwords that are non-privileged and yet don't neatly belong in the category of web applications. So for example, here in mine, I have some license keys for software like Camtasia. I can share these license keys with my help desk or whatever users may need them. I can put a non-privileged local login to a computer that I might need to use, like maybe a kiosk. If I want to share some files, I can encrypt them, send them out over email, and then share the encryption key over secured items. Or how many times have we walked into a corporate office and we see the guest Wi-Fi network password just hanging on the wall in plain text? Well, now you can put that into secured items and only share it with the individuals who actually need access to it, really reducing that footprint. Or maybe you have some longer items like read-only API keys that your developers might need to have access to. Well, now you can put them into a section called secured notes, which is part of the secured items. And then you can share those secrets, really making the life of your developers much more convenient. And my favorite feature of secured items is that you can actually connect to them now through the mobile app as well. So let's say that Mike goes to another office that he hasn't worked at before. He can just have the manager share the guest Wi-Fi network with him, access it from the mobile phone, and connect to it. And easily from his laptop, he can start working. Thank you for joining us for this quick demo.